of the restoration of the full sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra through the dissemination of this very gospel, the gospel of truth, the gospel of honesty, the gospel of sincerity, the gospel of redemption, the gospel of liberty, the gospel that will extricate you, that will unchain you, unhinge you from the slave status you have been enduring for decades now. If you are not in the habit of inviting people to participate in Radio Biafra live broadcast, please allow me to encourage you to make an exception this evening, or this morning or afternoon, depending on where you are, including those of you in the Congo, DRC. Wherever you are, go and tell your friends and your neighbors. If you have no neighbor, go onto Facebook, go to WhatsApp, go to BlackBerry, go to Rounds, go to Tango, go to Viber. That is one simple thing you can do, and you may even help save a life. Because when people listen to Radio Biafra, they come alive. They come alive immediately. Pick up any particular platform you are on. Tell your friends, I am listening to Radio Biafra, and tell them how they can also join or participate in what we are doing. You must tell somebody. If you hear, you will tell the next person that we are live and we are direct, and humanity is listening. This is the place that makes sure that the word Biafra is reverberating all over the world right now. All over the whole world. There was a lady that contacted us. I told her I will not mention her name, and I will never do it, nor mention the organization she works for. But they are huge. In terms of media, they are huge. If they carry story on Biafra, Church Abasagu, they are monstrous in terms of their reach, their depth, and their influence. How did she hear about us? Because we tweet. Because we broadcast every blessed day without fail. Circumstance permitting, of course. Once in a while, we may miss one edition or the other on the odd occasion. When I am on transit or when I am indisposed due to one very pressing reason or the other. But it has to invariably do with the work we are doing for our nation, for our country, for the kingdom of God upon the face of this very earth. People come to us now. We no longer go to them. That is how big we have become. And you made it possible. IPOB family members all over the world. Before we came here to establish, we were all over the world, in every continent. There is nowhere you go to, you will not see IPOB family meetings holding almost every blessed day. You go there and you will see your blood relatives. Those that Chukwu Abiyama created you and them to serve this very purpose we have embarked upon right now. To restore his kingdom here. That his will be done here. This very land. And I didn't say Minnesota, USA, or Wisconsin. I said here in the holy land of Biafra. A land, do you know we have red sand here? We also have white one. Why do you think we call Port Harcourt Iguacha? Have you been to Port Harcourt to see the sand before? It's white, do you know that? Iguacha, that is why it's called Iguacha. Not the beaches. You don't need to go to the beach to be able to see the white sand. I said inside Iguacha itself. Once you cross Imo River, the surface soil and sand becomes white. Iguacha Kobo. If you have not taken notice before, go out tomorrow to have a look. Go outside and see if you're in Port Harcourt. Just go to the nearest place you have land and have a look. You see that the sand is white. That's where I got its name from. We are live and we are direct, and we are on CHK 97.6. We are also on satellite. We are also online. If you are in this Iguacha we are talking about, it is 88.0. 88.0. You got us there. Live and direct. And our Bonner. We make things happen here. Not by any strength that we possess, not by anything extraordinary about us, but by the grace of heaven. That same Chukwu Abiyama that we call upon all the time, this night is no exception. We will invite the Lord of hosts into our proceedings this evening to ask him to come as always to abide with us, because our prayer is very simple. Every honor, every glory, every adulation, adoration, every uplifting of name, Ijamanine, Mbulia Helunine, Otutonine, the Rahan Sogi Chineke Nankigwe, Egelegwe Nowa, Malite Nogogo, Usuni Lenkendiaga, Amama Macha, infinity, Sinebigebi, it never ends. It continues. Lord have mercy. We praise you and we honor you. We ask you to come and bless your children, Biafrans all over the world, indigenous people of Biafra. This natural Biafra, bless only them. Only IPOB, we ask you to bless. No other people. They have suffered. From nothing, they built a phenomenon. If not for IPOB, there will be no Radio Biafra. This is what happens when people come together. This is what happens when you put your heart and your mind to one singular subject, one particular devotion. You accomplish a great deal. That is why nobody can claim anymore that I don't know what they're talking about. This Biafra thing. We are now being taken seriously because you took Biafra seriously. Because when we called, people answered, and you flooded into family meetings and family groupings wherever you are. And because of that very work that you have done, everywhere around the world now, Biafra reverberates, thanks to IPOB, indigenous people of Biafra. I salute you and I beckon upon heaven to bless you immensely and abundantly. Not just tonight, but as long as you devote yourself honestly to the pursuit of this very noble enterprise that heaven itself ordained. That is why all our praise and worship goes to heaven. That is why we have no other God except Chukwu Abiyama, Chukwu Okike. And we worship him here forever and ever. He said, my name is Nnamdi Kanus. I am the leader of indigenous people of Biafra all over this very world, the commander of all her forces, and when I say believe me, you must do so. There are many of us here. The absolute commander of all the Biafran forces, those who believe in truth and honesty. For us, that is the litmus test. Do you believe in the truth? If you do, of course, you come and join us. Anything you can do, we will give you every support to excel in your field of endeavor. Anything you think you are capable of accomplishing, if you think you possess a know-how, skill, knowledge to distinguish your service from the rest of your peers within this very effort, we welcome you, because we encourage excellence, because we have class, essentially. My goodness me, we do. And Biafra will come. And Chukwu Abiama's name will be praised. That is why I will serve you also in my capacity as the director of Radio Biafra. I did not come here out of my own free will. Even heaven can testify to that. I was arrested in the spirit that this is something you must do. If you don't do this very work, you go mad. So you choose one. I know the one I chose. And that is the one I'm doing today. And because Chukwu Abiama asked me to come, or determined that I should come, there will be no retreat and no surrender. We will not prevaricate. We will not in any way, shape, or form contemplate anything else apart from outright victory in battle. We have not come to negotiate Biafra peacefully. We have not come for peaceful actualization, as if I will have you believe. We have come to get Biafra through war. Many of us will die, and then so what? Mazi. I said many of us will perish, but we would have died having to do something greater than ourselves, serving the throne of heaven. To die for Biafra is the greatest thing that can ever happen to you as a human being. Some of you don't know what Biafra is. Some of you just say Biafra, you don't know the meaning of Biafra. If you know it, then you know that after Chukwu Abiama in heaven, the next thing is Biafra. If you understand it very well. That is why he asked us to come to preach this very gospel in the manner that we do. And for that very reason, I will serve you diligently with a great deal of devotion, never deviating, never allowing my attention to be divided. Always focused on one singular outcome, a free and independent sovereign state of Biafra. That is the end of everything. As I would say, the end of every discussion. I welcome you once again, and I'm sure by now you have welcomed those of them either within reach or outside your reach. But at the same time, you should and must have contacted them. This is your radio station, the radio station that belongs to IPOB all over the world, because if you're a family member, when you talk, you said, our radio station. That's how they say it to me. And I love it so much. Our radio station. That is how you know somebody who is a family member. We don't sell forms. You don't need money to join. You don't need permission even to form a family unit. As long as you get permission from the office of the coordinator of all coordinators, Engineer Clifford Chukwemeka Iranya, who is domiciled in Houston, Texas. That's all you need. And then we can say you're one of us. You know what it means to say somebody's one of us? To say to somebody you are one of us, it means you're a child of heaven. We welcome all of you. Everybody, those of you in Efik, in Ibibio, in Igala, in Idoma, the ones in Igbo land, those of you in Ijon, Izon, I should say, those of you in Isoko, in Ishekiri, the ones in Urobo. And when I say Igbo, I mean all the way from Igbo Akere to Igwenga. Igbo Akere in Edo State to Igwenga. That very arch of L. That's what I mean by Igbo. I don't acknowledge Delta Igbo. There is nothing like Delta Igbo. That is Igbo. That is Izon, Urobo, Isoko, Ishekiri. That's Mbidi in Isoko, is that correct? Or is it in Mbidi? In where? Is it Isoko or in Ishekiri? Urobo. Urobo, yes. There's Mbidi in Urobo, for your information. I'm still doing my research. By the time I finish, I will tick off Urobo as well. I won't refer to them as Urobo. I'll call them Igbo. Once we discover your root, where you come from, we tell you where you come from. If you speak something I can't understand, you are not alone. If I go to Abakaliki, heaven knows I don't understand what they're saying. If I go to Nsukka, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. But we are all one family, one people, indivisible, under the reign of the Almighty God, Chukwuabiama in heaven, watching over us. We are live and we are direct, and humanity has to listen, because it is right that they listen to us. And this is Radio Biafra. I don't know if the barrister can hear me. If you are close to Barrister Mamezu, if you know what you can do to raise the barrister, please do so. We are waiting. He knows the number to call. That number is available with us right here this very minute. And we ask him to join us as quickly as he can. And as soon as the barrister comes to me, I will be at liberty, of course, to temporarily disengage from whatever I am doing to acknowledge his presence, to acknowledge his preeminence. This is Radio Biafra. We will proceed this very evening with the time now standing at approximately 26 minutes past 8 p.m. in the evening to present to you and to the rest of humanity our news headlines and accompanying news summary. The Zoo Drug Law Enforcement Agency have arrested a South African lady with 74 million naira concealed in oat bags. How much is it in dollars? How many million is it in dollars? It is 373, almost, yeah, $374,000, 2,120 euros were concealed in an oat pack. At least those of them who are clever with 419, they will use this and say to Yibo, didn't you see that money they seized? Come, let us eat your money. You go and carry your own as well. We don't deal with people who are engaged in fraudulent activities, in deception. We don't deal with them. Very, very important, please. Money found in the possession of a South African lady at the instigation of 2 baboons and monkeys from the zoo called Nigeria. That is how you know a Nigerian. It's either a monkey or a baboon, depending on their IQ level. If it's the monkey level, they are monkeys. If it rises up to baboon, then they are baboon. But one thing is certain, they are not human beings. Being, yes. Human, no. That's a problem. We continue. Why is a very compelling piece by, I wouldn't say it's compelling, not this one, I thought it's the other one I was about to go into. Why Igbos did not vote for Buhari by Jidofo Adibe. There are some myths being bandied about, and I want to destroy them this very night. I want to crush them. Reason. Argument. Simple. Reason and critical analysis. Hanika doesn't have this rubbish they write. This evening we prove to them that they think, before you write certain things, please know that there is Radio Biafra. You can write during the day, at night we come. In the morning we are there. Every blessed day. It doesn't matter what you write or say, but always have it in the back of your mind that we have millions of reporters all over the world. I said millions. Anywhere you say anything that impacts negatively on the lives of Biafrans, we will dissect you with reason and logic. We're not going to fight you. We'll only prove to you that we are more learned than you are. Some say, oh my goodness, what an arrogance. I said, why wouldn't I be? Why shouldn't I be? If you like, you can be like us and go and study. And we are waiting. You can never meet up because I've been studying for 20 years. Still now, I'm still studying. So when are you going to catch up? You see, you may never ever catch up. Chukwuabiyama asked us to come, and he knew why he asked us to come. That's all. Only 2 questions. Where you crawled out from, you run back into exactly the same hole. I can assure you of that. Why Igbos did not vote for Buhari by Jidofo Adibe? We shall dissect it. I love it when people try to write intelligently, especially if they are, if they have a Biafran sounding name. Somebody can be answering Jidofo. You can never tell. We continue. Buhari's corruption amnesty is unconstitutional. I don't think you follow what I'm saying. Buhari is planning to offer corruption amnesty to Ndioshi politicians. Welcome to the damnable. Welcome to the zoological. Welcome to the den of thieves and rogues. Welcome to the animal kingdom, the zoological Republic of Nigeria. Amnesty for corruption. Amnesty. Well, I don't want to say anything that people may construe as being against the spirit. Therefore, I will reserve my comments until I commune with heaven. Corruption amnesty. You ask for amnesty. When I say to our people that we need to fight, I don't understand. All of you since jumping up and down, oh yeah, in fact, engaging in kidnapping. That's what I was gave you. Kidnap, mix here with Oshi, here and there. A bit of robbery here, a bit of kidnapping here, a bit of land grabbing here and there. In the name of freedom fighting. Good. If it's buying and selling, I would say leave Igbo people to do it. Nobody buying and selling. To order something and sell, I can say yes. But with freedom fighting, and the Igbo man, no, they don't mix. Because freedom fighting requires resilience, mental toughness, resilience. If you approach freedom fighting from the perspective or viewpoint of buying and selling, gain, profit, loss, you've lost your way completely. You need perseverance. I asked Ifajuna once, how did you start? How did you manage to feed yourself? He said he was importing earring from India. Earring that customs burnt it near his house. His uncompleted 4x4 building in a glitch garden before Biafrans built it for him. I said to him, so you were involved in business? And he said, yes. And then I did my research when the thief fell from grace. There is nowhere on earth, I repeat, there is nowhere on earth where a businessman has ever led a revolution before. Doing buying and selling. It is impossible. Go and do your research. This is the exclusive reserve of those who understand and value intellect. Not for people that do buying and selling. That is why I knew from then that Ifajuna could not have made it. By which I mean Lebanya. The more you look, the less you see. Extraordinary thief. Maybe one day they'll give him amnesty for robbery. Robbery amnesty, as they're doing now. They have one now for corruption. They have amnesty for militancy, amnesty for terrorism, for Boko Haram, amnesty for Abro Walk, OPC, amnesty for politicians who are criminals, corruption amnesty, and very soon they'll have kidnapping amnesty for Owazurike. Now, mix it with Oshi and here and there. In the name of freedom fighting. Buhari's corruption amnesty is unconstitutional. That was the man they claimed was coming in to fight corruption. He is offering them amnesty. So they will not go back and then expose him Because Jonathan said to him, I have some things, Makadi Obama, I still have some things against you too. I have it here with me. They're now negotiating for corruption swapping. I swap my corruption for your own corruption. And everybody welcome to the zoo in the ocean and the Ama. The Zoological Republic to evacuate baboons and monkeys in the conflict-torn Yemen. Do you know why I'm presenting this very news? When they come into a place, the place is owned by some people. That's the law of nature. You see this zoo called Nigeria. Awasa Fulani owns this place. It doesn't matter how remote your village is. Your master and your lord is Awasa Fulani Nachinama. Those that move cattle from place to place, courtesy of the British. I wrote a very acidic piece this very evening on Facebook because I was very upset about something. I just wrote it. I poured my venom against Christendom. In fact, I questioned the essence of validity of the New Testament in the Bible. I question it completely and totally. I questioned the essence of the Council of Nicaea that was convened to start church the way you know it today. Europeans. When Yahushua was in the Holy Land of Israel, there was no church. No St. Mark, St. Matthew, St. Evelyn, St. Agnes. He worshipped in the temple. As soon as he died, and commercialized it. Today you have church. And what has been troubling me is this. I'm still giving you a news headline. I've not deviated from it. It is that the zoo is planning to evacuate monkeys and baboons. By now, you know, they are Nigerians. If I use the word monkeys and baboons, I'm referring to, if you say you're a Nigerian, you're either a monkey or a baboon. Simple. If you say you're a Biafran, then you're a human being. They said the zoo government is set to evacuate monkeys and baboons in conflict-torn Yemen. Yemen is at war. That's the meaning of conflict-torn. There is fighting in Yemen between Muslim and Muslim, Islam and Islam, the Wahhabist strain of Sunni sect in Islam against Shia or the Sufis. It depends on which camp you belong to. The same way you have Apostolic Church, you have Roman Catholic, you have Anglican, you have Methodist, you have Seventh-day Adventist. Something is in Islam. They have Sunni, they have Shia. Within Sunni, they have the Wahhabis. Within Shia, I think they have another one. There is a particular sect, even the one that Al-Assad belongs to, the president of Syria. Is a different sect. Then there's Hezbollah. Depending on how you can. They do competition in beheading. Who can behead better than the other? In Islam. Beheading competition. These are people you're in the same country with. There is war going on in Yemen, and the zoo is planning to go there to bring back baboons and monkeys called Nigerians. And I'm saying that they own this very place. The reason why the zoo can think about evacuating monkeys and baboons in Yemen is because they are Muslims. They are Muslims. There has been disaster upon disaster everywhere in the world. How many times in the places where you are, some of you are, they are killing us in Malaysia, in China, in fact, their prison is full of our people. How many times has the zoo actually intervened to say, these people languishing in jail, are they all guilty of one crime or the other, or is it just a case of miscarriage of justice? Let's bring them back. We may not have any war going on in Malaysia or in China, but our people are suffering. They won't do it. They never offer to help. During 9/11, a lot of people were killed. They never offer to help. But as soon as it affects Muslims, they are sending aeroplanes to go and bring them back to Hausa. Barakat de Salah. They own you. And who made it possible for Hausa? Iweunu. Hausa man owns you. As you are right now. I don't care where you are. You are the property of an Hausa Fulani man. Because you are a Nigerian. You are the property. I can send a Fulani headsman to kill you, and he will not be killed. if you want to experiment. But that very Fulani Hausa man can never ever go to jail. It's impossible. And what is the problem here? The people that handed Biafra over to Islam, do you know who did it? They are Christians. Christians are the ones that gave over Biafran Christians to Muslims. It is the hypocrisy that I cannot stand. That was when I started to question most of the rubbish that have been telling us. To Trinity, but rubbish that has no validity or weight anywhere at all in the realm of Chukwuabiama. He said, "You worship me alone, or you are an idol worshiper in a Pharisee. You people are idol worshippers. You are. That was why your handover to our Safulani was so easy. A piece of cake. That is why they can go to Yemen and bring their own back. When you're suffering, nobody gives a damn. Even the so-called zoo ambassador in a country doesn't give a toss. What is happening to you? Did they care? The answer is no. And you say we Nigerians, stupid people. Nigeria, mad people. In United States of America, they have conducted a poll, which means a sample of people's opinion in the public. Majority of Republicans, the party I asked you people to vote for in America. If there is voting in America, vote for Republicans. If they call for elections in the zoo, don't vote. Because the more you vote, the more the likelihood you perish anyway. Majority of Republicans favor making Christianity the national religion in America, which will violate the First Amendment. Amendment about work. America is a Christian country. It is a Christian country, founded on Christian values. Today, they have an Islamic president intent on propagating not just Islam, but very violent Islam. Under Obama's reign, the world is now witnessing the greatest and the fastest spread of Islamic terror recorded in history. Obama is trying to punish George Bush for going into Iraq the second time. That was why he opened what is essentially the Pandora's box. Mayhem, slaughter, disaster, and murder everywhere. And beheading after beheading, courtesy of the American president, Barack Hussein, or Hussein Obama. That's his name. Majority of Republicans favor making Christianity the national religion in the USA, and about time as well. Better the devil you know than Islam that you don't know. 9 devastating actions white slave masters took to convert black people to Christianity. You know, you don't know about the conversion. In those days when when Lugard was coming to create the zoo, some of you don't know this, he will come to a village and he will say to the village head, the man said, I don't understand what you're saying. He will point at your land, I want your land. The man will say no. He will say off with his head. They will behead the head of the village chief. They'll cut off his head from his body. Then when he got to local jail, he said, they are Nigerians. And you are jumping up. We Nigerians. In fact, I should be walking about now with fleet shelters. If you say you're Nigerian, shelters. Mad people around. When Lugard was coming, as he was coming, any chief, any traditional ruler opposed to Lugard, he will kill the person immediately. That's the person you're answering his name. Nigeria, we Nigerians. I don't want to speak against the spirit. 9 devastating actions that the likes of Lugard took to convert some of you to Christianity. Is it what Arabs did when they came here to convert you? Black people are the only people without their own religion. The only people without their own. Every other person has his or her own. Europeans worshipped idols so much, they created their own. Instead of them to follow the Mosaic law, in essence, following Judaism as the original religion, if you want to be truthful to yourselves. They spent many years demonizing the Jews, how they killed Christ on Good Friday, how they did this and did that, how the Pharisees and the Sadducees, they wrote all manner of garbage. Anyway, heaven and earth will pass away, but his words will never ever pass away. Impossible. Anxiety in NNPC and other federal government-owned companies over Buhari's presidency. They say Buhari will probe them. What do you need to do? Go and call Aisha Buhari. Even I love money more than anybody else. Abia government debunks claim that INEC has cancelled National Assembly results. It has been cancelled. Theodore is not the senator. Only if Buhari has taken his own court. Or this man demolished Ahogumabri no more, and his building took it over. I mean, it's how bold they are, these thieves. Somebody so brazenly. You claim people voted for you. The same way that some of these idiots who got to vote in the and then after 3 years you start complaining. Oh, we are suffering. Oh, that time I'll tell you to come on, get away from here. When you are going to vote, didn't you know that? You voted for Theodore 4 years ago. In fact, 8 years ago. Omuahia no longer has a central market. He said, I'm going to build shopping mall, international standard. Public land, he stole it. That tells you all you need to know. 71 Chadian troops killed fighting Boko Haram. How many Zoo soldiers have you lost? You are talking about Chad. How many of your Zoo soldiers have you lost in the process? Can somebody please tell us? How many baboons and monkeys fighting in the armed forces of the Zoological Republic have lost their lives? They will not tell you. Air Force chopper crashes in Lagos. Air Force chopper crashes in Lagos. And that is not new. They want to be like white to buy things, you know, to be like a good Air Force. And then to the very article I was talking about by my very good friend Rudolph Okonkwo. Very brilliant and intelligent type, I must tell you. Working for the wrong people, but very, very brainy. I must tell you that. Rudolph Okonkwo is. Thank you, Kabiesi. By Rudolph Okonkwo. He is very brilliant, I must tell you. Well, I'll read this very piece later on. When intelligent people write, I love to read from them. We'll read it later. The news in greater detail. We are live and we are direct. Our lines will open after our news headlines and accompanying summary, which we are about to present now. Then you can give us the benefit, I should say, of your views and your opinions. This is live Radio Biafra presentation from the bosom of Biafra land on this very day, the 10th day of April in the year of our Lord, 2015, with the time now standing at 12 minutes to 9 p.m. in the evening. We welcome you. We welcome you wherever you are. The news in greater detail. A 39-year-old South African woman identified as Nosisi Ngula or Ngula was arrested at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, with $377,725 which translates roughly into 74.4 million naira. A handbag. She was also found to have 2,120 euros, which translates into 450,000 naira, concealed inside packs of oats. You know oats now? I know some of our children have not tasted oats before. Every morning. That's oat. You can also have in the morning. When Biafra comes, those things will be readily available to everybody because we'll plant them here. It doesn't need too much water. So we go to Igala and we go to Idomaland and plant oat to survive there. According to a statement by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency of the Zoo at the Lagos Airport Command, they call it Lagos Airport Command. Everything is command. Lagos Airport Command. Is it another statutory security agency as well? NDLEA? I don't know. In America, it's the customs. Here, this NDL, another kwangu created by the zoo for extortion purposes. The money was discovered during an inward screening of passengers on a South Africa-bound flight. Sorry, from a site originating from South Africa en route from Johannesburg. 2 Nigerians, Damian Akamelu and Prophet Cyprian Chigere, are being interrogated in connection with the seized money. You know, politicians here, some of them have lost, and they see that their master Jonathan is no longer there. So the sooner they move money out, the better. Where best to move it to than to South Africa? Who best to carry it than a South African? Because if they move it to Europe, people could be watching. So let's go to South Africa, where Obasanjo has investments at Tiku as well, and a few others. But unfortunately for her, she was caught. She'll be detained for about 2 weeks. They will share the money and give her her own court, and the whole case will die down. Welcome to the zoo, where a police inspector general of police is actually lying, saying we got. Oh my God, I don't want to go into it anyway. Why Igbos did not vote for Buhari? I'll read it as a piece written by somebody, please, and then I'll go into it because I intend to. Reflective of this emerging triumphalism and chop politics is the tendency to pick on the Southeast, which voted massively for Jonathan in both 2011 and 2015, for their apparent lack of political foresight or even political illiteracy, as one Yoruba writer called it. Do you know that Yorubas have been saying, oh, Igbos, they don't have any sense. They did not vote for they didn't see it coming, this change. To vote for Buhari, they should have voted for Buhari. Yoruba, when Obasanjo won at PDP, did you vote for Obasanjo? Did you vote for Obasanjo? Yoruba, did you vote for PDP? Did Obasanjo not win? I said I want to go into this nonsense. Yorubas are writing. It's called political illiterate. Hey. And then I go have political lack of political foresight. People voted for their brother. He said they lack foresight. Oh my God. Since when did people start having political foresight in the zoo? Awasa voted for Jonathan's PDP because Jonathan said, I will not run in 2015. After that, power will go back to them. They wanted to use only about 4 years to make sure that they get South and Niger Delta into their camp. Yoruba, have you ever voted for anybody before apart from a Yoruba man? You voted for Buhari because Oshibanjo was there. In 2011, did you vote for Jonathan? The answer is no. It was ACN. Before that, did you were AD? Is it? What's the meaning of AD? Did AD vote for Obasanjo? The answer is no. Yes? The Igbos are following INEC to the lagoon. People are very funny. There's a cartoon. Igbo people are following INEC inside the lagoon. Amazing stuff. Amazing stuff. Interesting. Igbo people are being, some of you that don't have the benefit of listening to Radio Biafra, you look at one Yoruba paper, oh, Igbos have made a mistake. Look at another one. Oh, they have messed everything up. Igbos are no longer, they are marginalized now. Oh, God in heaven. Yoruba, when MPN and MPP in 1979 were coming together to form a coalition, you people then were in the minority of UPN. Nobody accused you of political naivety. I said, before you write any rubbish, remember Radio Biafra, because we'll come back to it. This very person, Jidofa Dibe, is not him writing, he was responding to Yorubas, saying that Igbos have shown lack of political foresightedness and political illiteracy. Political illiteracy indeed. Yoruba has never ever voted for anybody from South before. Yoruba has never ever voted before in their lives for anybody apart from a Yoruba man. The reason why they voted for Buhari was because of, didn't Buhari run in 2011? Did Yoruba vote for him then? Yoruba, you forgot one thing. I actually studied politics. We know how to dissect foolishness. So all of you who may have been reading Yoruba papers thinking, oh, you people are finished. They didn't vote for Buhari. You people are mad. Buhari will take you actually seriously for not voting for him. He knows he has natural opposition, of which we, Biafrans, IPOB, represent. We don't like him, and he knows that. And would we give a damn if we don't give a toss? Rubbish. Political illiteracy indeed. So it was not political illiteracy for Yoruba to follow UPN against MPN and MPP, because Umezoka was the then Speaker of the House as a result of the alliance between MPN and MPP in Lagos. Yoruba, you were in UPN. Yoruba, once again in 1999, you were in AD, Alliance for Democracy. You voted for Olufalaye. Is that correct, Olufalaye? Your own son, running with that time Obasanjo is not a Yoruba man. He's an Awasa stooge. All of a sudden, Baba is now one of you. You are now beginning to eat money from oil wells in Biafra land. Hypocrites. Before you open your mouth or you pick up a pen to write rubbish, remember Radio Biafra. We are here waiting. You write rubbish and we dissect you. Nonsense. When have you voted for the winner? This is the only time that Yorubas are actually voting for somebody who won. The very first time. Why? Because their own son, Osibanjo, is the vice president. Elect, that is. They are hoping that Buhari, Yoruba, the opposing Buhari in power. So Yoruba man will take over. That's why they voted for him. The government of the zoo to evacuate baboons and monkeys in conflict on Yemen. I was a man as usual. Geriatric. The federal government is making their own, no, not my own, their own federal government. The government of the Zoological Republic is making arrangements to evacuate baboons and monkeys from conflict-torn Yemen, according to the news agency of the zoo. A source in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs told news agency of the zoo in Abuja on Friday that no fewer than 46 baboons and monkeys had already been identified in Yemen. They are looking for them in Yemen because the Hausa people going to do jihad and the Quranic studies in Yemen. The source who preferred anonymity said that the zoo government had been in constant touch with the zoo mission in Saudi Arabia for the implementation of the plan. Hey, the axis of Satan, Islam everywhere. In Yemen, contacting the one in Saudi Arabia. Assalamu alaikum. They are spending all your money. Jigawa, what do you contribute to the economy? But all of you everywhere having fun, doing Hajj and performing pilgrimage on oil coming from Biafra land. What a joke. They are going to bring them back. Your own children are suffering. There are many of your children who have been, can I say, illegally or unjustly detained or jailed. They are looking for money to pay. Somebody said live on air. They are in prison. If you pay, you will go. You will leave. When was it that the zoo actually wanted to say, oh, these are so-called monkeys, are fellow monkeys and baboons called Nigerians. Let's take them back to Southeast or South-South. That says no. But once it affects our supposed to mobilize Air Force to bring them back. They're in Yemen. And whose money is being used to finance the trip? Yours and mine in Biafra land. Because in our land is only sand and flies. Ijiji, Naja. This is Radio Biafra. We must continue. Majority of Republicans favor making Christianity the national religion, which will violate the First Amendment in every country. Republicans probably shouldn't be confused as the education party, based on the results of a new poll by Public Policy Polling, asked a string of extremely basic questions related to science and U.S. history. A majority of Republicans managed each time to pick the one that showed evidence of lack of school. It's very, very cruel. In the main, what the news is saying is that Americans want to return and make America a Christian country, which will violate the enshrined freedom or the separation of the state from religion. That's what they're arguing here, basically. But as I will tell them, if you're in America, you vote Republican. 9 devastating actions white slave masters took to convert black people to Christianity. The most important aspect of Christianity for the enslaved was the promise of heaven. How can somebody be picking cotton in a farm or farming in a tobacco farm somewhere in Virginia or in a sugarcane plantation in Jamaica? And then you say to him, after cutting sugarcane for the white master for nearly 40 years of the man's useless life, don't worry because you're going to heaven. Oh, so you in the house, why don't you come and cut sugarcane with me? After that, the two of us can go to heaven together. Hey, black people, black from Africa. Black people. They promised them heaven. I'm very sorry. I'm live on air. It's just the whole thing is wretched. New Testament, only God knows. Oh, guy, you're in the house relaxing, sipping rum, and calling party and decorating with flower. We are in the plantation. Oh, if I go to heaven, where will you go to? But you know, black people, we swallowed every nonsense, every garbage. They fed us. Hey, God in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Ignorance is not a good thing, you know. Disease. Disease, you know. Ignorance. God forbid. Anxiety in NNPC and other zoo-owned companies over Buhari's presidency. Those that stole money. The victory of General Muhammad Buhari, the terrorist-elect, in the March 28 polls is reportedly rather causing panic in the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, and other federal government-owned companies in the oil energy sector, according to a report by the Nation newspaper, which is owned by Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I don't know why Yoruba papers never wrote about Tinubu, you know. They never did. That is Yoruba for you, isn't it? Hypocrisy. They had the temerity to write about Stella Odua. That was why I hated Jonathan. Jonathan removed Stella Odua, and I told him, if you remove Stella Odua, we will draw support for you. And we did. Oh, Stella Odua, this aviation minister. This is a. How about Bola Ahmed Tinubu? How about him? How about Bola Ahmed? The man that came from Sierra Leone. Is he from this? You don't even original Yoruba. Can the Bible see Sierra Leone? Joba Manabe. Kenu from Sierra Leone. Are you from Lagos originally? The answer is no. You're from Sierra Leone. Including the Mobology Bankantoni. Is that not correct? Okoya Thomas. Are you people Yoruba? Porapo? The answer is no. You are not indigenous to Yoruba land. Some of you, you are freed slaves that came back to the zoo to say you are Lagosians. Tinubu. His paper is The Nation, promoting APC Boko Haram agenda. According to the report in the newspaper, officials of the companies, many of whom did not anticipate President Goodluck Jonathan's defeat, are now under pressure to bring their accounts and oil receipts up to date for presentation to the incoming government. Amazing. Abia government debunks claims that INEC has cancelled National Assembly results. The Abia State government, which is Theodore the thief. The thief after Ojo Zokalo. Theodore Ojo Wonyoshi, Akatako Nyoshi no me. A modern day, oh, black people. Black. Anyway, The Abia State government has said that its attention has been drawn to a most sarcastic propaganda being championed by the opposition to the effect that the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has cancelled or has reversed the results of the senatorial seats in Abia State, which they earlier announced. The state government alleged that the opposition had gone ahead to instigate some of their members to be firing cannon shots in order to deceive the public. He said that the propaganda was obviously untrue and baseless. We expect INEC to say so. INEC should come out to clarify the situation with the stolen mandate of the people. T.A. nobody voted for him. Nobody voted for T.A. Nobody. Apart from himself and his murderous son and wife, maybe. Look at where we are today. A thief coming out and saying, what can you do? Onyoshi. Anyway, I don't blame him. Oh, he's a good man. You said the same thing about Ojo Zokalo. Some of you said, oh, he's nice. Have you been to his office when he was the secretary to the government in Abia State? Hell, he gave me 1,000 naira, you know. Oh, that man is nice. Hell, he came to my village. He gave us a 15-year-old car to be using. Oh, he's nice. Now, what are you saying? Do not go out to vote. That's what we're saying. If you're going there, wasting your time. 71 Chadian soldiers killed fighting Boko Haram. At least they're being honest. 71 Chadian soldiers have been killed and 416 injured in 2.5 months fighting Boko Haram. The Chadian army said on Friday, Chad is taking part in a regional offensive against the zoo-based Islamic radicals, along with troops from the zoo, Niger, and Cameroon. And who established Boko Haram? Muhammadu Buhari, the terrorist elect. Those are his men. At least Chad is being honest to come out and say, can the zoo please tell us how many people have died so far in this so-called war against Boko Haram? Buhari's boys, so to speak. They won't tell you, will they? Mad people. Air Force chopper crashes in Lagos. At about 10 a.m. this morning, which is today, returning to the apron after the completion of the training exercise, this very aircraft suffered severe damage due to hydraulic failure. No maintenance. They want to fly airplane without maintenance, even in the air. Look at the only place in the world where you decorate the airport with abandoned aircrafts. I have flown into many airports around the world. It's only in the zoo that you see abandoned aircrafts on the runway. They don't maintain it. They are trying to be like Oyibo, you know, to do Hawaii 5.0. Okay, but here in Gaza, the chopper came down and crashed. There was no casualty recorded, however. The main rotor debris caused damage to some ground equipment. Welcome to the zoo. A Super Puma helicopter belonging to the Zoo Air Force crashed in Lagos on Friday, which is today. It was returning from a training mission. And it crashed, belonging to the army. Black people, they make me sick. Make me very, very sick, honestly. We'll continue. I want to see when the Oba of Lagos spoke. In the last few days since Muhammadu Buhari's victory in the March 28th presidential election, an unsettling sense of euphoria has taken over the zoo political space. This according to my good friend Rudolph Okonkwo. It was clear that a victory did not wipe away all the fundamental flaws in the structures of the zoo. Yet, most of us had taken our eyes off the shaky hinges of our, he calls it, his nation. Such a false sense of security could be devastating. When the hinges break off, especially at high speed, we could find ourselves in a deep ditch. This was keeping me up at night. And then the Oba of Lagos spoke. Some of you don't know what you have done with the terrorist in power. That's in essence what he's saying. Some of you don't face the cold, hard facts of life and reality in the damnable zoological republic. The only place I take offense in this very brilliant piece is where he referred to Nigeria as his nation. The zoo is nobody's nation and can never be. It is a contraption. If people do not know the meaning of the word nation, please, could I recommend or suggest they consult their dictionary? If you go to your dictionary, you will see the meaning of nation, and there is no way the zoo comes close to it. Now, if the zoo is a nation, how about the Yorubas who are in Togo, Yoruba who are in Dahomey? What happens to them? I don't know. Maybe you tell me. If they speak the same language, the same type of food, possess the same cowardly instinct in them, are they not qualified to be a nation? But no, they cannot rise above it. Everybody believes in what the white man says and does. God sugarcane for 40 years and you go to heaven. And they bought it. Hence, they were deceived. That concludes our news presentation this very day. Very brief by our standards. But we want people from abroad to call Radio Biafra today. If you call us, we will be able to take your call. I want to know that Owerri is working, please. I need to know if Owerri is working. I need to know if Owerri is back on, please. Because this very evening they were working on it. I want confirmation that Owerri is back on live and direct, please. Very, very critical. Very, very important. Very, very important. Our lines will now be opened. If you have anything to say, you are welcome to say it. This is Radio Biafra. We are live, we are direct, and Chukwu Abiyama bụ Chukwu Okike is presiding over our proceedings this very evening. Once again, we welcome you. Once again, we are live, we are direct, and we welcome your calls. And our Skype is on today. Our Skype is on. My goodness, it keeps tripping all over the place. Keeps tripping. It comes and it goes. It comes and it goes. Our Skype should be on. If you call us, we will take your call. Our Skype is on today. Radio Biafra is the Skype name. Should you wish to contact us via that very means, you are more than welcome to do so. You are welcome to do so. Once again, the number is 081-738-13596. I repeat, 081-738-13596. This is Radio Biafra. We are live and we are direct, and Chukwu Abiyama is, of course, God here. And also, the other line is also on, and if you want to call that line, you are at liberty to do so as well. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? The caller on the phone, can you hear me? No. No, they cannot hear me. I didn't even hear anything at all. It's as if the line is not responding. Okay, I think it's better now, I think. It is better now. I believe it's better now. Our lines are open. If you call us, we will be able to take your call. And I believe that Skype should be able to function this very night. It should be able to function this very night. The caller on the phone, can you hear me? It's gone again. Please, can somebody silence this? Because I don't know what.
So much shit going on in this nation. They say the Northerners are planning an invasion. They say Buhari been dead, this is Jubril. SARS on the streets still going for the kill. Who the fuck came up with this social media bill? Politicians still looting us with no chill. Laws get amended, we are not defended from the heartless. Everything we do is fucking lawless. Dog eat dog for jungle, and that's the motto. Cutthroat hustling, we all fucking muscling. The blood of the innocent hanging over heads of you bastards in leadership. With God's flock, real talk. Show me one thing that works for the good of the people. They ate so much and left the bones for the people. The government was designed to reap up the people. Deep down, you don't give a shit about the fucking people. All chikunas of the country. Ndinachanye Zubuko the country. And you funny where we gonna the country. Why are we struggling hard in our country? All chikunas of the country. Ndinachanye Zubuko the country. And you funny where we gonna the country. Why are we struggling hard in our country? In the words of my mama, there will be karma, retributive justice, not the British justice. Typical story of the haves and the have-nots. At this point, I was only jotting down my thoughts. Fight the Kraken with the head of Medusa. Stand up and take charge, they might gun us down, I know. But the fuckery will never really end. The whole system is a joke. Nigeria is always broke, foreign debt deficit. All of this shit so confusing. The hardship, the tough times telling on the people. Who the fuck will clean the tears of the people? Are we really a country and just a sea of greedy people? We're so divided. The east and the west never see eye to eye. The north holding on to power. No love, no trust. All I really see is lost. More looting my people. Let's really start uprooting. My raps prosecuting. Deadpan like Vladimir Putin. Cops shooting. God still shooting. Can't stop till I get a motherfucking footing. This one no be Lamba. Chapo Black Mamba. Every time I yarn the streets, they understand my grammar. They know say I they para for them. God go punish them. Boys they for street 2 days, they never learn. Boys still asking if I really shot ram. Bad as it be, finally all of us like jam. Niger such a bad taste, spit it out like phlegm. Niger such a bad taste, spit it out like phlegm. All chikunas of the country. Ndinachanye Zubuko the country. And you funny where we gonna the country. Why are we struggling hard in our country? All chikunas of the country. Ndinachanye Zubuko the country. And you funny where we gonna the country. Why are we struggling hard in our country?
Like Captain General, please don't catch fire. Finance office, don't catch fire. They don't these worst forms. Fire don't catch. Now they love them, they hate them. Now them they teach your money. Now them we will this everything we will get. Now sweat, we get down. Come on, make una use that energy. If not,